Good morning, everyone. I want to welcome you to Rooftops. I'm your host, Sam Guy. I have a major update I want to give you this morning. Before I give you the update, I kind of need to remind you of some things from the past. As you all well know, Wilmington City Council held a meeting in April. And as a result of that meeting, a couple of pieces of legislation were passed. One had to do with an audit committee for the city of Wilmington. Another one had to do with a $40,000 pay raise for the chief who hadn't even started working yet. And the third piece was the Hanifa Shabazz censorship resolution directed at me. It's pretty interesting how things swing around over time. She thought it was so important to have her whole staff work on researching and writing something up because her purpose was to try to kill me off politically. And I always tell people, in politics, people don't kill you for what you are, they try to kill you for what you can become. And so her hanging around with Persicki and Pacini, Poland, and the rest of the crew that she's with, they decided, I guess, that they wanted to try to take me out. But see, when a person of her character tries to take you out, it's actually the highest form of a compliment, because what they're admitting is that you don't do the type of improper, crooked stuff that she does. So she's mad at me for being fair and just and wants to kill me off so she can keep doing the mess she does. So she thought she had an opportunity. I'm going to try to destroy this young man here, her contemporary. Well, that kind of stuff boomerangs. So now she's the subject of community requests for criminal investigations and councilmatic requests for criminal investigations and audit requests and things of that nature, questioning her exercise of power and discretion in providing money places that a lot of folks disagree with. And over time, we'll find out where that goes. But she's the same person who thought it so important to also try to take my portion of the discretionary funds. And when she saw a white woman and a black woman and a white man and a black man, Hanifa Shabazz decided that she wanted to give the black man no money. See, you all want to watch TV all day yesterday, you're going to watch it all day today, and you're going to read about everything that's happening down in Virginia and the white supremacy. Well, see, white supremacy is right in your neighborhood. White supremacy is the black man gets nothing. That's one of the fundamental tenets of white supremacy. It's against all blackness, but the major target is the black man. So here in Wilmington, Delaware, the white supremacists have a black president of council to carry out their mission. The object of the resolution was to try to make me ineffective, to try to shut me down, to try to keep me from talking, to try to keep me from working for you. But it didn't work because I'm still working. Never stopped working, won't ever stop working, because I done spent my whole lifetime working. I don't know how to do anything else but try to make the world a better place. And I care what happens with respect to the black community in particular. I'm not the black guy who wants to work on making society better but doesn't want to do anything to help the black community too. See, if I was willing not to do anything to help the black community as well, then I would be a Negro who would get patted on his head by the white supremacists. I want everybody's life to be better. I don't care if you're red, black, white, or green, and my track record establishes that. But as a black man in America, knowing the history of what has happened in this country, how could I not have a particular interest in improving the plight of black folks in the city of Wilmington, in Newcastle County, in state of Delaware, in the United States, and in this world? How could I not? I'd have to be a complete sellout not to care. There's a price to pay when you're a black man, you know what you're doing, and you're willing to use your knowledge, skills, and abilities to try to help improve the plight of black people as well as all people. When you do that, then there's pushback. So while you got your attention focused on white supremacy in Virginia, Hanifa Shabazz tried to take out one of your voices, one of your primary voices. There's areas where our community would have been wiped out years ago if I wasn't willing to step up and fight and speak up for you. And there's things going on now that I'm trying to protect you from. So when you see a Negro standing up for the white supremacists and taking their mission, saying, we need you to help us kill him off, we need you to pass resolutions condemning him for looking out for you, you got a white supremacist problem here, except it's in a black face acting on behalf of white supremacy. So what happens when a black person feels that the master has tapped them on the head and said, you're my Negro? Then what do? How do they behave? Well, what they do is they get a sense of confidence that they can do anything that they want to do because the master has okayed them. They've been blessed to be the chosen one that can do whatever they want to do to the black community as long as they do what white supremacy wants done on their behalf. So then that's when you get to lawlessness. That's when you get to people exercising discretion and saying, okay, well, I can mess with the money. I can mess with the money and give it to who I want and spend money on parties and go to boxing matches and sponsor, since when City Council sponsoring boxing matches and all of this kind of stuff, and give people what I want them to have, and take money from other members of council and give your friends on council money that they shouldn't have. So what happens is outside agencies begin to look. So about a month ago, the Attorney General ruled that President Shabazz was having illegal secret meetings with certain members of council and the mayor and the lawyer for the city. And the Attorney General ruled that they're violating the Freedom of Information Act. Now you all, here's what happens in cities. In cities, unlike in suburban areas, there's often not a group of people in the inner city who fight to make sure that the Freedom of Information Act is honored. Like out in the county and throughout the state, there's groups of people who regularly fight about the Freedom of Information Act being honored. The Freedom of Information Act is one of the tools in a democracy designed to protect the people. The Freedom of Information Act is for you. It's for you to be able to get information from your local government. It's also for you to be made aware of what your government is thinking about doing before it does it, so that you can then decide to come to the council meeting and participate and voice your opinion on the issue that they're about to discuss. If you don't know in advance what's going to be discussed, then you have no opportunity to participate. But see, the way white supremacy works is in a city that's 60 to 70% African American, nobody wants you to participate. What folks want you is to not be aware of what's going to happen before it happens, so that you can voice your opinion about the issue. So that's why the Attorney General had a problem over a month ago and ruled that when President Shabazz didn't post the meeting notice for this leadership committee that she had, and when she had the mayor with her at this illegal meeting, and had the head of the law department was at this illegal meeting. Now the head of the law department should have been the person saying to President Shabazz, like, hey, this is an illegal meeting. You shouldn't have this meeting. But see, when you become the puppet of white supremacy, then they basically just want you to do what they want you to do, and they allow you to do anything you want to do to oppress the people. That's just how it works. So you're the victim, and you don't even know you're the victim. So you all have to start to pay attention to rights you have as citizens of Wilmington to know what's going on in your city, not after it happens, but before it happens. So when you hear about me introducing legislation designed for the public to know when somebody's trying to open up a new business in their neighborhood, trying to get a permit, when somebody's trying to get a variance in your neighborhood, and I'm saying that the community should know, and that in this digital age, you should be able to get notifications. But the Hanifa Shabazzes, on behalf of the people who practice white supremacy, stand up and oppose it because Pazicki and Pacini Poland said they don't want the public to know. As soon as I announced that I wanted the public to know, they was on the front page of the paper saying they don't want the public to know. And she's right up there cheesing for the master that she don't want the public to know. In a day of modern technology, where when you pay a bill with your card on the internet, they instantaneously send you an email confirming that you've paid that bill. The city of Wilmington, as soon as somebody in your neighborhood files to open up a business in the middle of the block in your neighborhood, there's no reason for you, if you signed up, not to instantaneously get a notification, they call them notifications, that somebody applied for a variance, or if somebody applied for a building permit in your neighborhood. But see, you're not worthy of knowing a doggone thing because you're black predominantly as Wilmington residents, 60 to 70%, and you're the people who's being targeted to be victimized. When the mayor announces that he's going to enforce the law in West Center City, he's really telling the white people who believe in white supremacy, and it's not all white people who believe in white supremacy, but he's communicating to the ones who do that I'm about to go in here and take over this area, and once I take it over, then I need you all to come in and move in to the places that I take over. That's what he's communicating. The newspaper is not for the black community. The newspaper is for the white community to be informed as to what's taking place that they want the white community to know about. Yes, black people read the newspaper. Yes, some of you all are sitting there saying, okay, what you're saying, that don't make no sense. That's crazy. No, it's not crazy. What's happening is you think, when you read these newspaper articles, what you need to do is you need to read them carefully. There's a reason why when they write the articles and they're always saying something derogatory about certain parts of Wilmington, and then there's certain times when something happens in certain areas in Wilmington and they don't mention it because they don't want certain people throughout the state to have a bad view of certain neighborhoods. But then there's other neighborhoods where they want folks to have a bad view. They want to lower your property values. They want you to, in a sense, abandon the city, but they really need to make sure that the people throughout the state know what the game plan is, what's going to happen, how this takeover is being implemented. You don't have to believe nothing I say, but don't you get sick and tired of basically 5 years after I say something to you, you end up saying, Dag, he told us about that 5 years ago? Don't you get tired of that? You oughta. See, you done sent who was once a young black man that grew up in an era and understood the opportunities that was made available by folks in front of me who opened up doors for me to have opportunities. And I went and took advantage of the opportunity. So I'm a lawyer. I have a law degree. I'm a chemist and a mathematician. I have degrees in chemistry and mathematics. I have a master's degree in educational leadership. I'm certified. I can run the State Department of Education, any school district, any school, anything that needs to be run in public education, I'm certified to run it. I have a master's of instruction in instructional technology. So that's not just your basic techniques of teaching, but it also has to do with how to integrate technology into a classroom. That's why sometimes when you see avatars and different things and videos, I've learned how to do a lot of things related to technology and teaching. I have a master's degree in public administration with a double major. One of them is state and local government. I've been a councilman before, helped Tom Gordon run the county executive office, which means that the mayor's office is like the mayor for a small government. The county executive's office is the equivalent of being the mayor for the whole county, just like the governor's the mayor for the whole state. So running a little small government like the city of Wilmington, I have experience with it through being Tom Gordon's, part of his senior staff, legislative experience. I'm an attorney who has a familiarity with the court system and operating in it. Plus I was the head of a non-profit, the NAACP, as the state president for 4 years. And I was the attorney for the local Wilmington branch. And I was the regional chair of the NAACP for a year. And I've been in the military at the United States Naval Academy. Why do I say all of that? Because my elders created an opportunity for me to learn. And as a result of learning, I've also had experiences. I've worked for the bank commissioner's office. I've worked for the children's department. So I've worked as an electrophotographic engineer. You might say, what's that? Developing the science of copy machines. So what I'm saying to you is, with corporate experience, governmental experience, military experience, I'm supposed to be, in the world of white supremacy, Sam Guy is supposed to be the Negro who don't care nothing about the black community, and they pay me lots of money to help hurt you. That's what I'm supposed to be. Because some of the people that are white supremacists, they look at me and they like, well, why do you care? I've had people like, why you care so much? Why are you fighting so hard? Well, people open up doors for me. And I learn I'm supposed to help make things better for the people coming behind me. Hanifa Shabazz has learned that if you see black folk like Sam Guy who know what they're doing and they trying to make a difference, whatever he's trying to do, oppose it. And the white supremacist, your master, they will pat you on the head and they will give you things that you want to have. They'll give you what you want. That's basically what you have going on. So you don't have to go look at what's happening in Virginia. You can look at what's happening now. The Attorney General a month ago said she had illegal meetings. So now here's what happened. On August the 10th, the Attorney General sends out another document, because during the meeting where she decided that she wanted to have me censored for the white supremacists, she violated the law. August 10th, the Attorney General issued an opinion. What they're trying to do is they're trying to keep it quiet, because if the Attorney General issued an opinion on August the 10th, that would have been a Thursday, I believe. Let me make sure. Today is Sunday, August the 13th. So Sunday the 13th, Saturday the 12th, Friday the 11th, Thursday was the 10th. So on Thursday, the Attorney General issues another opinion and says that that meeting where they gave a pay raise to the chief of police, where they passed another ordinance to create, change some things with respect to the audit committee, and the same meeting where she put this censorship resolution on the agenda, Attorney General has ruled that Hanifa Shabazz and Wilmington City Council violated the Freedom of Information Act. She failed to give public notice 7 days in advance of the meeting about anything that was on the agenda. 7 days before the meeting, she failed to put out notice of anything that was going to be on the agenda, and didn't put out any notice until the day before and the day of. That's just a plain violation. It's such an egregious violation. And again, the law department, see, Mike Przicki's, the head of the law department for Mike Przicki, because white supremacy is in play with respect to what Hanifa is trying to do to me, then Mike Przicki basically has the head of his law department try to support and defend anything that she does that's clearly improper, clearly illegal. They want to support her because the object is always to kill the black man that's a threat. The black man that will stand up, that's interested in the community being treated fairly. And so they support her. They don't care how much money she maneuvers or whatever. They're going to support her because they own her. And back in the day, when during slavery, the slave master didn't kill all his slaves because he needed them to work. So right now, the slave master, no matter what kind of wrong stuff she does, Mike Przicki and his crew want to save her so that she can keep doing what they need done. Because she don't care about you, but she knows how to act like she cares about you. What she cares about is getting her hands on the money so that she can distribute it to the people she wants to distribute it to. So be careful when you see a person trying to keep one guy from having $2,000 or $3,000, $4,000, and she was willing to do that and has now jeopardized herself having access to hundreds of thousands of dollars. That's a sickness, and that's what white supremacy will do to you. Thank you for joining me on Rooftops. Sam Guy signing out.